Good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our latest market update. I am Srividya Balaji, your host for today, and I am excited to bring you the latest insights and analysis of the ever-evolving market landscape. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from esteemed professionals in the field. We will hear from Mr. Mohan, financial economist and founder of Finmo, and Mr. Sumant, our head of research and technology. Before we move on to the questions, I would like to brief on the Nifty performance. So, for this week, Nifty has performed negatively, minus 0.97% negative for the week, and on the previous week, it has performed minus 2.39% negative. And from the top, we can see a minus 12.34% is the negative performance. On the same lines, we have questions from our investor community, and I will be asking you questions, a set of questions that project the concerns of the investors. So my question to you is from one of the investors. They tell that Indian stock market is falling and they want to anticipate an recovery. So when can that be possible, sir?
Yes, thanks for the question, Srividya. So I know, market has been continuously falling. This is the fourth month we are seeing a downfall in Indian market. But we have to also remember that since last November 2023, market also had risen 30% up. So from there, we are just about 10% down across the major sectors, that is Nifty, Bank Nifty, mid cap Nifty and small cap. So if we see mid cap and small cap also have corrected around 10%, and earlier Nifty and Bank Nifty was correcting, but of late we have seen that selling happening across mid cap and small cap also. But this month, of course, now we are seeing some bounce back from the bottom on mid cap and small cap. So that's a good sign. Of course, market has been falling for almost 10%, but we are seeing that the Indian market has matured enough because we have seen record DII inflow in the month of December, that is almost 26,000 crore, which was not the case ever in the Indian history. We all know after Trump's win in the election, the dollar is becoming very strong, of course, because it is his policy to be American first, so dollar is becoming very strong, and that is causing the rupee to depreciate. So of course, it is in FII's interest that they shift from here to US. Of course, our quarterly results has not been very good either. The last quarter was very bad. This quarter, we are seeing that some good earnings in certain pockets, so which is a good sign, and so I'm hopeful that in the coming quarters we'll see a good buying from our retail investors. In the a good consumption buyback will happen, and that will probably give us some boost in our market. And the major two events that are going to come is the Trump's taking office on 20th of this month, which is just 3 days away from today, and the budget, which is Nirmala Sitharaman will be presenting on February 1st. So these are the two major events. So though we have seen 4 months of continuous selling, there is no major directions that investor that whatever they are looking for. So there is no major direction at this moment because people are waiting for the policies that Trump administration is going to bring and what is there for them in the budget.
Elaborating on the events that you mentioned, so as we all know, Donald Trump is set to take over as US president next week. So with him frequently claiming that he wants to stop the Russia-Ukraine war, and historically we all know that US leadership can create waves in international trading too. So what do you think is its impact on the global markets?
So Trump, we know that he has promised to stop the Russia-Ukraine war after he takes to the office. That is the first thing that he wants to do. Of course, it is in America's own interest because these wars are majorly funded by US. At the same time, they earn also due to arm export and ammunition export. So it's on the other side, they are earning also from this, taking advantage from these wars as well. But he doesn't want all these killings to happen all over the world. So he wants to mediate not only in Russia-Ukraine war as well as in the Middle East. He wants to take spread peace across the Middle East as well. He is also promised to impose tariffs on China, so Chinese imports on US, because US is the highest importer from China. So almost $60 trillion of worth of import is done from China. So he wants to put a curve on that. So that would is a good, not good for China, but at the same time, though it helps America, but at the same time it can increase the retail inflation as well, because they may not force the American manufacturers to reduce their prices. So the American consumer has to pay more higher prices to buy the goods. So it may be a pressure on the American citizens as well. So there is it's a dual-edged sword. So we have to see how Trump handles that. Again, he has also promised to put sanctions on Russian oil. So of course the countries which are importing oil from Russia, they will be impacted. India is one of the major importers of Russian oils. Almost 40% of our oil imports happen from Russia. So if that sanction happens, India will be highly impacted as far as crude oil is concerned. And also he has promised that he will impose 100% tariffs on BRICS countries if they continue to undermine the US dollar. So India is also part of BRICS, as we know. So we have to see how that plays out. Of course, 100% tariff is not rationally possible all the time.
That was interesting, sir. So adding to the previous question, following Trump's inauguration, can we anticipate recovery in Indian markets? Because given that US economic policies can influence global growth, so investors are eager to understand the potential ramifications that can take place.
So yes, we have to wait and watch what the Trump administration policies are going to be after he takes to the office. I'm sure they have been working during this period. Because India has been the most cooperative among the most cooperative countries to everyone, so I don't see any major impact, and I believe the Indian economy, India will be the least impacted countries among all across the globe.
So thank you for that comprehensive overview of the market cues and highlights. Now let's turn our attention to some investment related questions we have received from our clients. So Mohan sir, my first question to you would be, some investors want to invest. So they have some amount ready with them and they want to invest this week. So they are asking, where should I invest? So what are the possible chances or opportunities that you give to the investors to invest?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Every time you have money, normally people they say that let me wait for some more time, and let me wait for the markets to, what will happen we do not know, whether to invest or not. So it's a very important question, and for that what I'll do is I'll show the screen, because you're asking where to invest. So first and foremost, the option is to invest in the stock market, because stock markets have been, like Samantha has been telling about it, and it is falling almost 10%, and a 10% fall in an index is a very big opportunity. And if you are investing fresh, and if you are already invested and you are seeing red, then if you have surplus you can invest. If not, if you have a fresh money and you have not entered the market so far, and this is a good time to enter, but the question is where to invest. So for which, if you go to rupeerakshak.com, this is a guide. And it will give you, if you go to stock equity baskets, there are about 30 plus stock baskets as you can see on the screen. And if you go to the filter option, there are returns available on 1 week, 1 month, 3 months and 6 months. So if you are looking at taking advantage of the fall in the markets, and if you are okay with volatility, for which if you look at these baskets in the 6 months, if you do, we have given that sorting button. So if you do descending, so minus 26% the defense sector has fallen in the last 6 months. In 3 months it has fallen by minus 8.81%. So similarly, if I look at what all have fallen, public sector has fallen by minus 21%, and media stocks minus 20% in last 6 months, and capital goods minus 20%, energy minus 20%, then you have lot of opportunity. Why I am saying this is an opportunity? 6 months back, if you had seen the same screener, you would not find even a single sector with a negative return. So people have already invested 6 months back, they are already seeing this negative return. So normally people have the tendency that they will only invest when market is already high, because the next change is fall. Now if the fall has already happened, the next change is going to be a big rise. Imagine you invest in a defense sector basket, and 6 months down the line, this could be, even if it recovers, it is plus 26%. And it doesn't recover. Market's behavior is such that when it comes back, it will come back with plus 20. So this will be minus 26 plus 20, 46%. I'm not saying exactly this will happen, but the opportunity is immense. And what about people who cannot take this kind of a negative returns? Because the moment you see minus 26%, you will run away from it. But that is the time to actually go and capture it. So it is important to invest when it is fallen, and even you can look at minus 3 months, whichever has fallen big in 3 months period, whichever has fallen big in last 1 month. So these are the opportunities, and if you cannot invest in stocks and you don't want to take that high risk, then there are mutual fund baskets. So in mutual funds baskets also, in the same way, there are returns from 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. So if you see in 6 months what is the return, you will not see negative return. This is the beauty. This is once again the same technology, pharma sectors, the sectors where the stocks it has fallen. But in the same thing, if you look at the mutual funds, it has actually given 18% return pharma sector in the 6 months. This is because when there is a beautiful concept, there is a complete contrast between investing in stocks and investing in mutual funds. In mutual funds, especially in a falling market, you will never lose money, even in the short term. And that is the proof that you can see that you see in 6 months return what you have seen just before, minus 20% here, plus 18, plus 14 in technology mutual funds schemes, and small cap schemes still still plus 4.4%. When markets are rising, when you invest in mutual fund markets, you will see nothing great returns. But when markets are rising, you don't know when it will rise or when it will fall. So you should always go and invest in the market, and more so if you cannot do it in stocks, you should check out for 1 year return. So which is the top performing mutual fund baskets. You have 37% at the highest 1 year return, 27%, 26%, and more so because mutual fund is a long term product, you should look at 3 years and 5 years. So if you see 3 years, there is mutual fund PSU which has done 32%. Even otherwise, any scheme that you see in 3 years, it's about 20%. So you should start investing in mutual funds. If you can't even take that much risk of volatility in, not at all in stock market, then you have bonds. So the bonds are the easiest ones.
Safest.
So you just go and invest just like your FD, you have guaranteed capital and a fixed return. So that is the way to invest. So if anyone has money right now, they should explore this portal, and they can do their own self-study and check out the returns. Whichever has fallen maximum, you can invest in that stock baskets. Mutual funds is anyway meant for the long term, so you should choose the high performing ones in 3 years, 5 years, and you should invest.
So one of our investors want to start trading. Can you give advisory calls on stock trading, sir?
Investor becoming a trader.
Yes.
I mean, of course, that's a catching thing today. The trend is that everyone is trying to become a trader. Luckily, SEBI has stopped them from trading on FNO by increasing the margins. This is something that a lot of people are asking us from quite some time. So for the last 6 months, we have worked on this, and good news is that very soon we will be launching our advisory trading calls, and that is going to be shortly launched, and you can watch out for that dates. Probably in a couple of weeks it will be launched, and that is going to be more of intraday calls. So there will be 2 intraday calls every day, and there will be 3 to 4 positional calls or swing trades, what we call, where you buy and hold it for 4 or 5 days and take advantage of that price swings. So this is going to be coming in very shortly. So anybody who wants to start trading and where they want some advisory calls to start with, and again I warn them, not to put a lot of money initially. So you just start off with small amount and do it for 1 week, 2 week with maybe 10,000, 20,000 rupees only in stocks, and that on intraday. And you can only do something like 40, 50,000 rupees on a positional side and get some amount of experience and understanding, because if you give 10 trade calls, it can, all 6 can go wrong in the same week. And it is very risky, and it is meant to be for learning. So you should develop confidence and have some track record for a couple of weeks and couple of months, and then slowly increase the quantity. So good news is that yes, Rupee Rakshak is coming out with the advisory trading calls very soon.
That is very exciting to hear, sir. So some of the investors also want to invest in US stocks. Since US stocks are doing exceptionally well, they are asking whether they can invest in US stocks too. So can you advise on that, sir?
Yeah, I think that has been a long pending from our side. We have already been advising at an individual level for global assets and US stocks, not just US. We've been advising on select alternative investment funds, structured notes. These are all minimum investment is $100,000. And these investments are not available for retail investors. We have been only advising high net worth individuals who have substantial amount of capital. The good news is that now we are starting Rupee Rakshak global assets platform, and through that, be it Indian investors, the resident Indians, or the NRIs, whether they are in Europe, America, Australia, New Zealand, wherever they are, they will be able to access the entire world global market with equity, debt, all kinds of asset classes they will be able to access, and also invest with the smaller quantities. So that is something very interesting option that people are getting very shortly, and we will be launching our global assets platform in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Mohan sir. That was very insightful. And to wrap up our discussion today, I am thrilled to share that we have 2 innovative products set to launch soon. So stay tuned for more details and how these offerings can enhance your investment experience and help you achieve your financial goals. Thanks a lot, Suman sir and Mohan sir, for sharing your invaluable insights. This is Shreyavidya Balaji, your host for today, signing off. Thank you for watching. We'll see you the next week.